What if the world told you that your dreams were impossible, and you proved them wrong anyway? This is the true story of Trudy Ederle, the first woman to swim across the English Channel. They called her foolish. She called it a challenge. Let's break down Young Woman and the Sea. Our movie begins in New York, 1914. We see a young girl named Trudy standing by the window, watching smoke rising into the sky. Suddenly, she feels weak. Her sister Meg puts her to bed. Their mother finds Trudy burning with fever and asks Meg to bring water for compresses. Trudy tells her mother she saw smoke. The mother explains that a ship caught fire, and most of the victims were women. Trudy asks why. The mother says they couldn't swim, so they stayed on the ship. The father returns. The doctor tells him Trudy is fighting measles, but the disease is stronger. Tonight will be her last night. The doctor stays with her, saying by the next time he walks down those stairs, she be gone. The family sits downstairs, waiting. But instead of the doctor, Trudy comes down. She says the doctor fell asleep and she woke up from his snoring. She's very hungry. Her siblings run to hug her. The mother decides to teach her kids how to swim. The father agrees to teach their son Henry, but refuses for Meg or Trudy. He says swimming is not for girls, and people will talk. Trudy insists on learning to swim like Meg. The father says no and tells her to find another hobby. Trudy picks up a guitar and starts singing day and night. The neighbors complain. The father gets fed up and finally agrees to let her swim just to stop the singing. Meg and Trudy grow up. They go to watch a boys' swimming race. Later at home, the mother tells the father she wants Meg and Trudy to join the girls' team. The father thinks she means Henry. She says no, the girls. He laughs. The mother takes them to the coach. The coach accepts Meg, but refuses Trudy because she can't swim. The mother begs her to give Trudy a chance. The coach agrees, but only if Trudy finishes her coal delivery work. The membership costs $2 a week. The father refuses to pay. The mother decides to pay herself. She takes up sewing. Meg excels in training. Trudy works hard delivering coal. One day, while Trudy delivers coal, two girls mock her, but Meg defends her. The coach overhears and decides to hold a daily race loser does the coal job. Trudy finally gets her chance. She trains hard. She swims in the sea every day. The U.S. Federation announces a girls' swimming championship. Trudy's team joins. The coach believes Meg can win, but ignores Trudy. The race begins. Trudy lags behind. Meg is close to winning, but Trudy doesn't give up. She catches up, overtakes many swimmers, and wins. The mother is shocked and proud. Trudy continues to win races, breaks 4 world records, and becomes the world's fastest in the 100-meter freestyle. Trudy gets selected to compete in France, expected to win 4 golds, but she must go alone, without Meg. One night, Meg comes home drunk. The father shouts. She storms out. Trudy finds her and begs her to come to France, but Meg refuses. Trudy says goodbye to her family and sails to France. She races but wins no medals. She returns to the U.S. discouraged. Her brother Henry greets her and asks about future competitions. She says she'll work at the butcher shop. Henry says Meg is getting married soon. Trudy visits Meg and asks how she convinced them to approve the engagement. Meg cries and says she's marrying Carl the butcher. That's the fate of girls. No one will let them be champions. Meg and Trudy work in the butcher shop. They give up swimming. One day, Trudy sees newsreels about swimmers crossing the English Channel. She's inspired. At Meg's wedding, Trudy asks if she can cross the channel. Meg says absolutely. Trudy goes to her coach and says she wants to swim across. One evening, she announces her decision to her family at dinner. She and her coach seek funding from Mr. Sullivan. He refuses, blaming Trudy for failing in France. The mother defends her, saying Sullivan is the one who failed her by stopping her training for 3 weeks. Sullivan says the channel is 34 kilometers, with freezing water, strong currents, storms, sharks, and sea mines. He says if she enters, she die. He says he must go to New Jersey for his mother's 88th birthday. Trudy challenges him. She'll swim 11 kilometers from New York to New Jersey while he drives. If she succeeds, she gets funding. Sullivan agrees if she does it in 3 hours. Trudy begins swimming at 6:30 a.m. Her coach drives to the meeting point. At 9:30, Sullivan prepares to leave, thinking she failed. But when he opens the car door, he finds Trudy sitting inside. She finished in 2 hours and 56 minutes. Sullivan treats her to dinner. Trudy tells her mom she's leaving in a week. Sullivan assigns her a new coach, Mr. Wolf. Trudy insists on her original coach. He refuses and says no support unless she accepts Wolf. Trudy travels to France. Other swimmers mock her. She meets a swimmer named Benji, who tried and failed 12 times to cross the channel. Benji tries again and fails. When rescued, he tells Trudy, "You must beat this channel." On July 20th, 1926, Trudy attempts the crossing. She swims 3 kilometers using American freestyle. Her coach yells to switch to breaststroke, but she has hearing issues. At 6 kilometers, the coach tells her to stop. She keeps going. He hands her a bottle and says it's tea. She drinks it, feels sick, and gets pulled out of the water. News of her failure spreads. People are disappointed. Trudy is hospitalized for 2 weeks. Her father and Meg come to France. A famous swimmer, Burgess, visits. He says Trudy was fast but suddenly sank. She tells him about the tea. He realizes Wolf may have drugged her. Burgess offers to train her for another try. Trudy fakes agreement to return to England. On the ship, she jumps from the window. Burgess, Meg, and her father are waiting with a boat. They return to France. They have 3 days before the ship reaches England, and they're caught. On August 6, 1926, Trudy tries again. She swims 13 kilometers. The water turns red. Burgess shouts there are red jellyfish. Her father asks what to do. Burgess says, "Nothing." She go through them. Trudy bravely swims through the jellyfish and continues. All media cover her progress. At halfway, she's exhausted. The current is strong. Meg jumps in to support her, swims ahead, and tells her to race her to the end. Trudy reaches 21 kilometers. Meg apologizes and exits. Trudy asks for food, anything but tea. Only 10 kilometers remain. The last stretch is deadly. It's dark. No escort boat. No rescue teams. Water temperature drops. Trudy has been swimming for 13 hours. She's freezing, almost drowning. She sees lights ahead. The townspeople lit fires to guide her. Trudy reaches the shore. A huge crowd cheers. News of her success spreads across America. Trudy returns home as the hero of hope. If you enjoyed this summary, subscribe for more real stories that inspire. What's the hardest thing you've ever done, and what pushed you to keep going? Drop it in the comments. See you in the next video.